We back. We got the man. We got the leader of the athletics department. We got the two-time AD of the year. It's hard to get this brother to sit down with us, man. We got Ashley Robinson in the building. AD, how you doing, man? Appreciate you for joining, baby. Man. As always.
Well, man. Well.
Hey, well, you know, it's SWAC Media Day. We coming down here as the defending national champs. You guys walked in with swag.
Right.
Walked in with chest held high. It's a little different than it was last season. So talk about how the media day has started off for you guys and how it's been for you so far.
Started off really good. We walked in, and of course, all the media wants to see Jackson State. It shows the job that Coach Taylor has done. Student athletes have done a really, really good job. I'm very proud of him and his staff. Kudos to TC Taylor, man. He's came in and really did a really good job, man. The future's bright.
Yes, sir.
You see the landscape of our program. You see the things that we're doing on a day-to-day basis and things that he's doing, man. So, you know, I got a job to do, man. I got to get out here and support him. I got to get out here and do some things and make sure that we can keep these student athletes and keep this program going. So he's doing what he's supposed to do. We got to continue to support him.
Absolutely.
AD, I'd be remiss if I didn't compliment you as well. Like compliment other coaches, man. You guys are clean, man.
Man, clean as a board of health.
You know what I'm saying? Got a monogram.
I mean, we Jacksonians, man. You know how that's the only way we can do it.
Yes, sir. But AD, man, I look at, you know, I try not to say much, but I try to observe a lot of things. And, you know, you'll never, sometimes you think you know people when you really don't.
Right.
And then when you think, you know, you can't get to know people until you just really around them. You can always assume what something is. But I would say this, just watch the way you move, the love that you have for the program is unmeasurable. You know what I'm saying? In this day and time where people are being pulled and plucked from everywhere, you know, after dollars. 2 years ago, you had to make a decision. And apparently, you know, it was an unpopular decision, you know, amongst some. But you pulled the string anyway, and look where we are.
Right. Absolutely.
You know, we you know, I talked to Coach Taylor and Coach O, third time a charm. It was done in 2 years.
Right.
Yes, sir.
So how did you feel at the time when you made that decision? And how do you feel about the decision now?
You know, when I made that decision, I was very, very confident. You know, Ken was one of the guys that I called and leaned on, and he'll tell you.
Yeah.
I told him, I said, hey, man, I need to have a confidential conversation with you. Hey, need you sit down on the couch and let's have a real conversation. I
remember that.
And when I called him, I said, I need you. I said, I'm going to make this decision. I said, it's something I always wanted to do. But it was a decision that, you know, that the TC Taylor decision was something that was in the making.
Yes, sir.
For a while. We talked about this in 2018 until now. And of course, we had some things between 2018 and now that we had to accomplish at Jackson State. But, you know, TC Taylor is a guy that I met, you know, I was in Texas. He was at Texas Southern. I was at Prairie View. And we was able to, you know, I met him. I knew Jared Mack when he was there at Central. I had opportunity to sit down and talk to him. I was like, man, this young man going to be a head coach.
Okay.
You know, as an athletic director, you know, you have to have, you know, you have to start early with coaches, and you see them from a young, you see them, see what they do. And you talking about a young man that loves Jackson State University. I don't know if it's another coach that I've met that love that institution.
Yes.
I mean, he's not the rah-rah guy. He's not the social media guy. He's not going to get, he's going to put his head down and he's going to work every single day. You know, it's to the point that he's one of those coaches, like if he call your phone, like, hold on, I got to stop what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because he don't call.
No.
He's going to put his head down and he's going to work. He's not going to complain about anything. He's going to work. I mean, one of the coaches that, you know, I work with a lot of coaches, and the things that he put on the field, he's a very honest guy, great character, great integrity. And you know, he's a coach. He's a student athlete coach. And students, they love him.
Yes.
They love him. He come in and he's serious about what he's doing on a day-to-day basis. And you just go to his practices, you go to see how he operates, you go to see how he work, you go to see how he do things. And I knew him, and I told Ken this. I said, Ken, I'm very confident. I told Ken, when I talked to him, I said, in 3 years, man, we're gonna win a national championship. And I said, we're gonna win it with one of our own. I told him, I was a year late. I told Ken this, and Ken said, okay. I said, we're gonna win a national championship. I said, we're not only gonna go to the Celebration Bowl, I said, he's ready, man. You could
Wow.
tell the hunger that he had for the program.
I
He
still
looked me in
remember the
my
day.
eye that
December
day.
10th,
And
2022.
he said, AD Robinson, I will not let you down. This is my plan. This is what we're gonna do. And he said he's gonna do it. And you know, he came in the first year. I think we went 7-4 that year.
Yes.
And we had some, challenges that year, and it came back the second year. And I mean, he hit the ground running. He got some depth in some areas that we needed.
Yes.
And he came and it's funny because I talk about this last season because the first 4 games, we playing those games to make sure we can get chemistry. To make sure that we knew those games in count. But I think in those 4 games we learned a lot about our team and our program.
Yep.
And it was a lot of alumni and people after the Gremlin game.
Oh man.
Calling me, hey AD, you should have did a national search. You should have did this. And everybody that called me, every single body that called me, I told them, I said, we won't lose another game. I said no words. So we won't lose another game. And TC will tell you, I'm not one of those ADs that panic. I didn't call him Sunday mornings. Hey man, what's going on? I wouldn't worry because I knew what we had. I knew what we was gonna do, and I knew his passion. And I know he was serious about what he was doing. And then we look up in December, all the ones that I'm giving my season tickets away, or I don't know what's going on. I'm from Jackson now.
Yes.
I'm from Jackson. So I Ken will tell you, I said, hey Ken, that's one of the ones right there. I got an email from him.
Okay.
But to see everybody come together as one. And we know what the mission is, what it costs to win. But what I understand and what I love about Ken and what I love about you guys is y'all know what it takes to win.
Yes, sir.
Ken had a vision. He had a vision 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And nobody wanted to listen. And he thought this vision about this. He said, look, it's NIL thing. He called me a couple times like, Ken, I got to do this right. He said, look, NIL thing coming, man. I'm trying to get this thing off the ground. If we don't do this, we're gonna have a problem. He was absolutely right.
Right.
And he didn't only just have the vision. Him and his team and you guys came together. And I looked up and we got a whole collective.
Yes,
I looked up like, hey, AD, I need your support. We're gonna get this done. It wasn't a vision that I had. It was a vision that Ken had. And he talked to me several times. Say, hey man, I'm gonna do this. We're gonna do it. Sure. And you look at today. If it wasn't for our collective,
yes,
who knows?
Our athletes wouldn't be here. I need those are the type of people. When people say they love Jackson State University, you can't tell me that Ken Clark don't love Jackson State University. He showed
it's gonna be hard.
You can't say. But a lot of people say they love us, but they only love us when we in Atlanta.
Right.
They don't love us, the first couple of weeks or when things are going tough. We need you there during the tough times, and now we need you more than anything. We need to purchase season tickets. We need to make sure we support the collectives. We need to make sure that we don't mind paying that convenient fee. JSU by 40 campaign, the building champion campaign, all that stuff matters now, and it's matter more than anything now. And my job has become super hard.
Yes.
You talk about all the success I've had. That's out the window. That's done. Now I got to be creative. Okay, Ashley, what are you going to create from a revenue standpoint to continue to support the coaches and the student athletes? One of the things that we looked at, Ken, is, bringing more classes to Jackson. A lot of people came to me, oh, man, you got me on the road 3 weeks in a row. I'm traveling. Okay, now I'm going to challenge you. Bring the money to Jackson. Okay. You got 2 classes. We got a class that we've done for 3 years. We got Hampton coming in. We done the 3-year class with Tuskegee. So we got the 5 home games now. So we need 50,000 every home game. Right. We're going to put a convenient fee on single tickets too. Everything have to have an NIL fee.
Glad you said it.
Now everything we do have to have an NIL fee too.
That's right.
We have to in order to continue to support our program. So we want to continue to be champions. We got to show that. We just can't talk, and that's not just for alumni sport. That goes for me. It goes for me as the athletic director. I got a job to do, and I have to do my job to support our coaches and student athletes. We ask our coaches to go out and coach and recruit. What are we going to do to support them to make sure they can go out and coach it? Wow. So that's the biggest piece, and it starts with me. I have a great staff that works together, that come together as a team. It starts with the university. It starts with all of us coming together as one to support our coaches. So that's one of the initiatives that I got to put in place, and we got to bring everybody together. We got to figure this out. And this strategic plan that we're about to put out, it's going to change it. Athletics has changed, and so it's changed. So we got to continue to put things in place and moving forward and create inventory so we can support our student athletes and our coaches.
So, Eddie, you said a lot just then, but I will say this though. One of the things, first of all, thank you. It's not just me. I remember having a conversation with D. Corey C, Shaq, and some of the other Tiger Talk crew members.
Right.
And we talked about some of the changes. And then I also got to appreciate my brother TD, KT Dub, and all those and all the Tiger supporters that have been a part of this thing, because it's not, I'm just the engineer of the train that we rolling, but that train is so full of supporters, man. Right. And but let me say this though, AD. One of the things we do want to do is we want to sit down with you, AD Wells Kilburn, figure out how we can be better partners of the university. Right. You know, get in, be a part of some of those strategic thought processes so we could better serve these students and go further with what we're doing. I'll let TD have it because he said a lot.
And one thing I want to say, TD, before we talk about Jackson State University. I tell people this: it's one thing that I want to do. Winning championships and doing all the things they do. I want to see all 50,000 alums come together as one to support not just athletics, but support the university as a whole. We could be the biggest institution in the state of Mississippi, right? But we all got to come together as one, and that's one of my legacy that I want to leave when I leave Jackson State. Of course, we won championships. We've graduated student athletes. We've done a lot of great things, graduation. But I want to see, I want to be sitting back in my chair at 65 and 70, and as one of those former ADs, and look up in the stands, and I'm turning the TV on, and I see 50,000 moms come together to support Jackson State University every single weekend. That's one thing I want to see, and not just when we win a championship. Every single day, not just football, basketball, baseball, softball, all our sports. Track, volleyball. You got rich tradition, soccer. I want to see that. Tennis. I want to see all those come together as one. Our new golf program, they're very, very excited about, bringing that tradition back and working on bringing those things back. So I want to see all of it. Our bowling program. Don't forget about our bowling ladies. You go, we're building our bowling alley. It's coming back.
Yep.
That'll be done. So that's what I want to see. And that's my legacy when I leave Jackson State University. I want to see all of us come together as one to support Jackson State University. And I guarantee you, when that happens, there won't be no problems at Jackson State University.
Well, I just have one question for you. You took my word, and that was vision, right? You spoke on Ken vision. And Ken often on the show talk about you being a heck of a point guard. So in order to be a point guard, you have to have vision. Right. To see. So it seemed like that being a visionary on the court has transcended into you being a vision as an AD. But that being said, I look at the coaches that you've hired, and I want to pinpoint Coach Richards. I mean, the needle wasn't moved when you made that decision, right? And to look what she did with that basketball team, her first year, is beyond amazing to me. So with the vision that you have in choosing the coaches, like you said, even with the vision that you had with Coach Taylor, what is your vision for the athletic department now? Definitely as far as even foundation-wise,
my vision is continue to build a sound and structured program with sustainability, with coaches and student athletes, giving them the best experience at a university. That's one of the biggest pieces that we want to do. You're talking about, university experience. That helps recruiting across the board, not just on the athletic side, but also you want to grow. You want to, as an athletic department and as an athletic director, you want to be able to grow the institution. You want to be a part of that growth. And there's no other way. You look at any athletic department that's doing really, really well in the universities. It's a big piece. It's your front porch. It's a big piece of especially today. And that's what I want to see at Jackson State. I was around those days, those good days at Jackson State as a little boy coming over to the bed. And my first football game, college football game was Jackson State. Seeing those things and want to see that. I want to see, Jackson State get what it deserves and some of the things that we'll put in place. So we got a lot of work to do. But the sustainability piece is what I don't want to see us go 5 or 6 years without winning a championship. And I want this thing to be consistent every single year or every other year. We can't go in that drought. I think Ken, 2012 or 13 to 2018,
2014 all the way to 2020.
You know, so that's a drought. That we want the sustainability. We want to continue to keep this program moving. And we got to continue to elevate and do different things, every single year. Just as our president, Dr. Gregory, would say, we are the standard. So, and we're gonna continue to be the standard. And that's what we have to do. We have to set the pace and have a vision we want to do moving forward. And everybody, whether you see it or not, everybody wants to be Jackson State University. I'm gonna say it. Everybody's chasing Jackson State. I tell people all the time, that they joke with me and say, "Oh, we're gonna get you this year." I say, "You're still 10 years behind." So everybody, we are the standard, and we have a target on our back, and we understand that target. And if you're in the point of Jackson State, you understand what it's about. And we have to continue to grow, to continue to be one step up in what we're doing. Stay on top of the vision, and the things that we're trying to do for our program.
I'm glad you mentioned Dr. Gregory.
Mm-hmm.
This is a question I wanted to ask, and this will be my final question before we get ready to conclude. Mm-hmm. How have you been able to stay locked in and focused with such with the amount of turnover at the leadership of the university? I text you when we went through personally. I was like, "Hey, AD, hey man, keep your head up." I think I said something like that. But give us your thoughts on how you've been able to maintain that.
I probably, as an athletic director, that's been on 3 cabinets. I have a lot of experience. I saw a lot of presidents. I saw a lot of things, and on what I've understood about being an athletic director is, regardless of who's in the seats, you got to. And a lot of people, say you work for certain individuals. I work for Jackson State University. And you always respect that seat. It's no matter who's in that seat, you respect that seat.
Yes, sir.
And that's the biggest piece. And I've learned from my mentors, I'm always gonna respect that seat. Mm-hmm. And that's what it's about. You're the president of Jackson State. That it's been a lot. It's been a lot for me. People ask me that all the time. But sometimes it's not things happen. But I tell people, it's about getting up every single day and doing your job.
Yeah.
And making sure you're taking Jackson State and moving Jackson State forward. And when you focus on your job and your coaches and your student athletes in Jackson State, all that other stuff, it's going to work itself. Yes. Things are going to work itself out, and Dr. Gregory is at Jackson State. She's one of our own. She's a cheerleader here, so she understands the mission. She understands Jackson State, and she's came in doing a really, really good job. She did a really good job as the provost. We have a great relationship working together as one. So, I'm here. Whatever Dr. Gregory need in support of Jackson State and needs for me to do as an athletic director, that's what it's all about. So, I tell people all the time, it's a lot of people that's not about Jackson State University. They say they are, but you have to show that you're about Jackson State University.
That's right.
And she's for Jackson State University. And I'm obviously, I work every day to show people that's what it's about. Mm. So the overall vision, it's about Jackson State University. And that's I think every leader that we've had, there's no doubt in my mind that they love Jackson State. So that's what it's all about for me. Sometimes you just have to, look in the mirror. I tell people all the time, and I ask this has been my thing, Ken, the last 6 to 12 months. What's your purpose? When you wake up in the morning, ask yourself, look in the mirror, what's your purpose? Why are you here? Why are you here? So that's the biggest piece. And at the end of the day, when you look in that mirror, you can't blame nobody. You can't say nobody else's fault.
That's right.
When you look in that mirror, who you see? You gotta look at yourself,
man.
So it starts with me when it comes to stuff like that. I have to make sure that I do what I'm supposed to do every single day as an athletic director and make sure that it doesn't matter what it is. I know the mission. Right. I know what it is. I have my saying. I tell people this all the time. I ain't fly here. I'm from here. I understand Jackson State, and there's no doubt in my mind that Dr. Gregory understands that. I'm here to serve and do whatever she needs to do to take Jackson State to another level and continue to grow when it comes to Jackson State University.
Well, AD, man, we appreciate you, man. We, you've been recognized twice. You're the only one that's been recognized a 2-time AD of the year, and it's for a good reason. We're proud of you, man. Keep Keep up the good work. We thank you again for stopping by. Sit down and talk to us.
And before we leave, Ken, now season tickets.
Come on now.
You don't have 2 more weeks. Season tickets and single tickets on sale. I don't want nobody calling me on August the 1st and August 2nd saying I forgot to get my season tickets. Single tickets on sale. So I'm giving you first dibs now. Let's go ahead and purchase those season tickets. There's no way that we shouldn't have 15 to 20,000 season tickets. I mean, there's no way. So we gotta make sure that we support that. Please go online and purchase your season tickets. Single tickets go on sale August 1st. So we want to make sure that people understand that, and please support the 40 by 40 campaign, support the Building Champion Forum, support the 1400 Collective, KC-1400 Collective, all of those initiatives. If you're not doing for one of them, you're doing something. So
that's right.
Just support one of them.
Yes. I just have one more question for you. Out of all the accolades that you have, the championships and hiring great coaches and stuff like that, what would it mean to you? Correct me if I'm wrong, Ken. We go down to Hattiesburg this year,
September 6th,
right?
And defeat
49 South.
It'll be the first FCS school.
Yes, sir.
It'll be the
first time in Jack State history that we've ever beat the FBS school.
Right. There's an accomplishment that you had. What would that mean?
And we've been so close. So close.
Right.
And you talking about that would be huge. That would be huge. You're talking about that would be one of the biggest accomplishments that we have. I mean, we've done it in basketball. Mo came out and beat Missouri.
Arkansas State.
Beat Arkansas State.
Yep.
So we've done it. So those are huge accomplishments. So those are huge accomplishments. Women's basketball has done it. I think baseball has done it. So you talk about doing it in football. That's a big deal, and that'll be a great accomplishment. But you're talking about beating those teams and showing that you're supposed to be on that level. I mean, I'm not saying too much, but when you start doing things like that, we talked about vision, we talked about strategies. If y'all know where I'm going, when things start happening like that, we got to start looking at some things.
Yes, sir.
Looking at how we operate and what we do on a day-to-day basis and where we want to take this program to and exactly what we want to do.
Yes,
I mean, that's the laying step of athletics. If you're gonna stay on top of it, you got to be able to have that vision. And when things are going on, you got to take advantage of it. I felt like, and I'm gonna say this, and you brought up something. I was in that era as a Boyd Elementary, Chastain Middle School, when Jackson State was doing great. He was talking about going to Conference USA. See, people don't understand. I know the history of Jackson State.
Yeah.
And they didn't take advantage of it, at that time. They was doing really, really well. Could have competed, but you think about what would we be right now if we took advantage of that 20 years ago?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So right now is a moment. It's a moment we got to take advantage of. We had a moment 2 years ago where they said, Ken, Ashton Robinson and Jackson State Athletics is dead. I said, we're done. I called Ken and I said, in 3 years. I was wrong because it happened in 2 years. I said, not only are we going to go to this celebration, but we're going to win. It happened. So, that goes out to the great coaches we got, man. And shout out to all my head coaches, man. I mean, I got some of the great head coaches, man. I got some visionaries, and I got to do what I got to do to support them and give them what they need. But we got some really, really good head coaches. And I encourage everybody, if you had that opportunity to meet our head coaches, have an opportunity to sit down and meet with them and let them talk to you about their program, man. So very excited about where we're going, very excited about what we're doing, excited about everything dealing with Jackson State University. It's all about Jackson State. We're going to continue to take this thing to another level and show people it can be done at HBCU. Yes, sir.
Tiger Nation, the AD Ashley Robinson. Again, AD, appreciate you, man.
Appreciate it.
Keep up the great work. Let's go over here and support these guys.
Before I leave, Ken.
What's that?
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers, baby.
Right.
Go Tigers. Appreciate it.